Alright, these are my predictions for the 2022 to 2023 NBA season. So for the 76ers, I see them making the playoffs easily in the East. And with Joel Embiid, James Harden, Tyrese Maxey, PJ Tucker, Tobias Harris, that is probably a top 10 starting lineup in the league, and they'll easily make the playoffs in the East. The Wizards, I see them as a play-in team. They're not at the tier of the East playoff yet, and I think they will not make it into the actual playoffs, but they will be a 9th or 10th seeded team this year, and they're about one or two pieces away from getting into playoff contention. The Atlanta Hawks are also a play-in team, but they will make it out of the playoffs as a 7 or 8 seed, unlike the Wizards, and their new acquisition, DeJounte Murray, should be a huge impact for them. But the reason they are only 7 or 8, which is not much improvement from last season, is because the East is so stacked this year. The Cavs are a playoff team. They have arguably the best backcourt in the league, and, well, maybe not the best, but top 5, top 6 backcourt in the league, and they have a great front court as well. And they have a lot of depth with like Kevin Love, Isaac Okoro, Karis LeVert, Ricky Rubio as well. So that gets them a 5 or 4 seed in my opinion. The Detroit Pistons, I got them in the lottery sadly. I wish that they could make the play-in or playoffs, but they're just not there yet, and especially with the competition in the East right now, they are not ready yet, but they are very close, maybe 2 or 3 seasons. They are a perennial playoff team. The Pacers also are a lottery team. They're trying to get Victor Scoot this year, and they're about 1 or 2 players away from getting into the play-in. They have a good starting lineup. If they add like Victor to it, maybe they'll trade Miles Turner or Buddy Hield for some future assets, get younger. Who knows what they'll do, but for this season, they will be a lottery team. The Bucks are an easy playoff team. I don't have to explain too much here. I think they would have won the finals if Chris Middleton never got hurt last year. Giannis is a top 3 MVP voted player every season, and just that will get them into the playoffs. But they have a lot more than just Giannis. They have depth, defense, shooting. But yeah, they will make it into the playoffs. The Raptors, I see them as a play-in team. They will make the playoffs as the 7 or 8 seed though. It's sad. I want to put them in the playoffs like last year. They were a playoff team, but the East is so stacked. You'll see more about that later. Scotty Barnes gets another year of experience under his belt, and the team just meshes a little better together. They still have some championship experience on there. So yeah, that will be a playoff team from the play-in. The Mavericks they're a play-in team for me. I've already kind of looked at the West, the top half of the West that I would predict, and I think that the Mavericks aren't as good as them, and I could easily see the Mavericks making the play-in, but they will get into the playoffs from here with Luka, Dinwiddie, Hardaway. They've got some good, decent size, skilled guards, and they got a backcourt in JaVale McGee and Christian Wood. Who knows if they will start together though, but they did lose Jalen Brunson, which is why I'm not putting them as a playoff team just yet. The Nuggets are a playoff team, though, with Jokic leading them to a 5 seed last year, and they only got better adding Kentavious Caldwell-Pope and Bruce Brown, but they also get back Michael Porter and Jamal Murray. That is an easy West playoff team with an MVP caliber player surrounded by 2 All-Star caliber players. They haven't made any All-Stars yet, but they've got the skill to become multiple-time All-Stars in the coming future. The Rockets are a lottery team. They're still really young. They need a few more years to develop, maybe a few pieces around them like Victor Scoot. That'll help them out a lot. But for now, they're fine with being a lottery team. They're still developing, and they're very young. The Grizzlies are a play-in team as well. I think they're going to take a huge step back this year. Even though they have a great coach, Jaren Jackson is out until Christmas, and I feel other teams around them got better. They kind of just stayed the same. They actually lost Anthony Melton, but I think that they're a play-in team with how competitive the West is this year. The Timberwolves are a playoff team. They have gotten so much better with the acquisition of Rudy Gobert. Their playoff success will rely heavily on Anthony Edwards, and that is a good thing to rely on. He's going to be a great year 3 player, probably an all-star, and they've also surrounded him with Rudy Gobert and Karl Anthony Towns and D'Angelo Russell. The San Antonio Spurs are a West lottery team. They don't really need to win right now. They just need a reset. They're starting to rebuild this year under Popovich. They're gonna get Victor Scoot 1 or 2. Probably they're gonna be one of the worst records in the league. I mean, that doesn't guarantee them a 1 or 2 pick, but they're gonna be down there and probably just tank for the next few years. The Jazz are in the same spot as well, giving up their 2 all-star players, basically their entire roster. Who knows if they trade Jordan Clarkson or Mike Conley, but for now, I think that they're going to be the worst team in the league and have a great shot at Victor or Scoot next year. The Warriors are a playoff team. They're coming off of a finals appearance, not just an appearance, a win. They're coming off a finals win, and they've given up a few pieces in Gary Payton and Otto Porter, but they got Dante DiVincenzo and James Wiseman ready to play this year. And their young guys will develop. They're just not going to miss the playoffs, I don't think. Clippers, they have gotten John Wall, their 2 all-stars healthy back, and they have so much depth. They probably have the most depth in the league. They are an easy West playoff team. They'll probably make it far in the playoffs. The Suns, despite the offseason trouble with their coach and DeAndre Ayton, I still see them as an easy playoff team. They were just the best record. They just had the best record in the league. How they're not gonna take that big of a step back. Trailblazers are a playing team, but sadly, as much as I want them to make the playoffs, because I'm just root for Dame. You know, he's loyal. I mean, you can't really hate Dame. I want him to have a great MVP type year, but I just can't put them over the Grizzlies and the Mavericks right now. They're gonna be a playing team, but sadly miss the playoffs. The Kings, they're gonna be in the lottery. They want to be in the playoffs so bad. They've tried so many win now moves, but it's just not gonna be enough with how the West is this year. And if they see themselves not or underperforming halfway through the season, they should just try and tank for number 1 or number 2 pick. That's how generational both of those players are at the 1 and 2 spot. The Knicks are a lottery team. They'll be pretty close to the play-in, but they won't be able to replicate their 2021 playoff seeding or anywhere close to that with how good the East is this year. Jalen Brunson, he's going to help them a lot, but maybe not this year. The Pelicans are a playoff team in the West. I love that they got Zion back and healthy. He's looking great, best shape of his life, he says. They almost knocked off the number 1 seeded Suns last year without him. And they've got a lot of depth, defense, young players, scoring. I just love their position, and I think they're going to be a lock for the playoffs. The Hornets will make the East. They will make the East lottery. They just don't have much around LaMelo. They also lost Miles Bridges. They're probably going to tank, even though their coach likes to win. He doesn't like tanking like that. But I don't know what else they're going to do. The Heat are a playoff team. They're going to be a lower tier playoff team, though, because they didn't really get better all this offseason. They lost PJ Tucker. I just think that they're still going to have a good regular season under their coach, Spoelstra, but maybe not the highest of seeds. The Bulls will be a play-in team. I kind of want the Bulls to do well. I know a lot of Bulls fans, but as much as I want to put them in the playoffs, I can't. They're going to lose in the play-in to either the Hawks or the Raptors, who will make the playoffs. And the Bulls I don't know what the Bulls need right now. Their direction's kind of weird. Obviously, I wish Lonzo would be back. Great to see him play, but his status is very uncertain for the year. So it makes it kind of hard to rank, and I'm just not going to have him in the playoffs. The Nets are an easy playoff team. I just think that this is the year they finally live up to expectations with Ben Simmons, Kyrie, and Durant. They surrounded them with some very good depth, including Warren, Claxton, Royce O'Neal, Joe Harris, Seth Curry. They're looking pretty good, and I think they're a pretty easy playoff team. Thunder tanking again. I feel like they're going to tank again because Chet got hurt. Shea is already questionable for the season opener. They just need 1 or 2 more years of tanking, and I think they'll have enough to finally get into the play-in or playoffs after that. Celtics, easy playoff team. now they're the ones coming off a finals appearance, not just winning the finals like the Warriors. And they did lose their assistant coach and their head coach, but I think they still have enough talent to get a very high seed in the playoffs. The Lakers are a West play-in team. I think they're going to do a little better than last season, but still not get over the hump. They need a lot of improvement from their coaching, defense, and shooting, which they kind of try to upgrade this year. But I think it won't be enough to get them into the play-in. Well, they will be in the play-in, but they won't get out of the play-in into the playoffs. Lastly, the Magic, they need 2 more years of tanking. They're probably one of the better futures in the NBA. They have a lot of guards, a lot of big men, some veterans on the team. But give them a few more years and they'll be a play-in team. All right, now I'm going to rank the orders or the seedings of every team. So the first seed in the East, I got the Sixers. It's already there. Bucks, 2nd seed. I got the Celtics, 3rd seed. I think they're going to have a pretty good regular season. And then the Cavs right behind them. Then the Nets. Then the Heat. Like I said, the Heat will drop off just a little bit in the rankings, but they'll still be a playoff team. Then I got the Raptors ahead of the Hawks. I just think the Raptors are very well coached, have some good depth, and a lot of experience. The Hawks will be 8, though, and make the playoffs. The Bulls will be the 9th seed, and the Wizards will be the 10th seed. And then the lottery teams, it doesn't matter too much, but I think the Knicks will be the best out of all of these. The Pistons will be the 2nd best. Then the Hornets, then the Magic, then the Pacers. I mean, the order doesn't matter too much at the bottom, but I think that the Pacers are really trying to go for that number 1 pick. The West playoffs, I think I got the Clippers 1st seed. They just have so much depth again, like I said. Healthy All-Stars back. Timberwolves, they will get 2nd seed. I see them a great regular season team. I don't know about playoffs just yet. That will be a separate video, so subscribe for that. But I see them a great regular season team. The Warriors, I got 3rd seed again, just like last year. Then I got the Suns. I got the Nuggets 4th seed. I think they're gonna improve 1 spot after getting back their key players. The Suns will be 5th seed. They're not gonna drop off to the 6th, 7th, or 8th. They're gonna still be a top 5 seed. But the Pelicans will be right behind them. It's weird how there's 3 West play-in teams just in the top 6 this year. That just shows how much improvement a lot of teams have had this year. Mavericks, I'm going to put them 8 seed. I think Grizzlies, they're not going to fall off to the 8 seed, but they're going to fall off from the 2 to the 7, losing Jaren Jackson for most of the year. And I feel like these other teams just look a lot better than the Grizzlies in my eye. But the Mavericks will be 8 seed. Luka, he's not going to miss the playoffs. They've got some pretty good depth, good coaching. Just a Western Conference Finals team. They have some experience, so they're going to stay as the 8th seed and make it out of the play-in. The Trailblazers, though, will have a better season than the Lakers. They have some good depth 1 through 8, and the Lakers, I feel like they still aren't going to be able to figure it out. But they will make the play-in, but they won't get out of the play-in. The West lottery, again, this doesn't matter too much, but the Kings are the best team out of these 5 teams. They have some really good players with Keegan Murray, DeMontis Sabonis, De'Aaron Fox. They have some good depth, and they are clear-cut the best out of these. Then I've got the Rockets, actually. Rockets and Thunder, you could switch them. They're very similar. They're very similar situations with their teams, but the Rockets are just going to be a little better this year. Then I got the San Antonio Spurs and the Jazz last. The Jazz are really going for that number 1 spot, just like the Pacers. And the Spurs, they're going to be at the bottom as well, but not the very bottom. If you guys want to see me predict the playoffs with my rankings here, then make sure to subscribe. Let's get to 10 likes, and I'll do that. And I will be reacting to my tier list, this tier list right here at the end of the season, to see how I did. So make sure to subscribe for that.